And now I'm joined with Scott representing Hippies and Cowboys. Very fascinating name, by the way. I'm joined with Scott. He's one of the members, one of the co-founders of Hippies and Cowboys. They have a song out already called 20 to Life that is available on all the platforms. And nice to be joined with Scott this early evening. Let's
Hey,
say.
Kenny, how you doing, man? What part of the world are you in? Where am I talking?
We're not that far off, my friend. I live on top of you, actually. I'm in Kentucky.
Cool, cool.
uh, about 3.5 hours away from you.
All right,
Yeah.
beautiful area. Thanks for having us on. And I'm the drummer, co-founder. Aaron and I put this band together about 3 years ago, and it's just been a blast to see everything that has happened in this amount of time. So happy to share whatever you want to know. Thanks for giving a plug to the first single that's been out and getting some good reviews. So we are very happy about that.
Yeah, I did get a chance to play it before you joined the Zoom,
Awesome.
and I really fell in love with the track. I really did. You guys definitely got the southern rock and roll feel musically, and I'm like, man, these dudes are refreshing. They already got an intriguing name as it is, and then the music, just blends in, with what y'all doing. So I like 20 to Life. It's a very fascinating tune. And y'all been doing the music thing for quite a while, and this is actually your first single, the first song to be available to the platforms. So this is an introduction
It
to the
is.
platforms.
It is. And I mean, we've been working at this for 3 years. And there are some people that, they get in it, they get a producer, they might get a beat, they get some tracks, they throw their vocals on it, and they might have something done in a couple of weeks or a month. And that's just not how we're doing it. It is old school all the way along. Um, and Aaron is one of these guys. I'm going to brag on him because he's not here. So you can find out some things that you probably wouldn't find out because he ain't here. He dropped out of school in the 10th grade to follow music. Now, he's not an old guy. He's 25 years old. But suffice that to say, he's been doing music professionally for 10 years. And even before that, his uncle was road managing a country artist by the name of Vern Gosden, who had, hits on country radio in the 80s. So here's this 10, 12-year-old kid hanging out on the road with this country artist, just kind of soaking some stuff up. So he quit school in sophomore year, and his family had already been exposing him to country music. And then he said he heard Elvis and the Beatles, and like everyone else, changed his whole world. So he starts getting in all this rock and roll, getting into the Doors and all the classics from that time period. And then I guess his parents had the Blues Brothers first album in the basement. He found that, put that on, and heard all the horns, heard this different style sound. So he had all that going on. He's writing the rock and roll, writing songs, got the country influence. When I met him, he was still kind of all in that. His uncle had a house band up in Kokomo, Indiana, and I was playing with a country artist that was on Warner Brothers called David Ball. He had some hits in the 90s, early 2000s. So he's in his uncle's house band opening up for us. And his uncle nudges me at sound check. He says, "Hey, check out my son, or check out my nephew. He's pretty darn good." So we do the show. After the show, we're all talking in the back room. And Aaron comes up to me and he says, "Hey, I'm moving to Nashville in a month. Y'all want to be my band?" In other words, trying to take the band of the Grammy Award-winning multi-platinum country artist that he just opened up for, trying to take his band. And of course, we didn't take offense at that because we figured, well, this kid didn't really know what he was asking. But sure, if you're in Nashville in a month, sure we'll be your band. Fully knowing this was all big talk by a 22-year-old. So a month later, my phone rings. Hey man, I'm here. Let's go. And I'm like, okay, that's a good first impression. The guy keeps his word. All right, let's see what this kid is about. And I come to find out how deep his musical catalog is that he spent time with. First of all, he can sing anything. We start rehearsing, and I'm like, we were just rehearsing covers because that's just where we wanted to start. Because he just wanted to get any kind of gig here in Nashville and just make a little money. And I'm thinking to myself, I've never heard anybody sing John Fogerty of CCR, just like John Fogerty. I've never heard anybody sing Journey, and can twang the country and can sing AC/DC. He can sing anything. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put some time into this. Let's see where this goes. And then I started hearing his original music, and some of it's, grunge rock, some of it's heavy rock, some of it's country, southern rock. There's so many different aspects of it. So then pandemic was going on. So we were doing nothing performance-wise. And he says, man, let's just go to Memphis. And he'd never been to Memphis before. So he got into Memphis, and we went to the Stack Museum. I just had this t-shirt on it. And he just started soaking up this classic music. He just felt that in his soul. He felt what was in Memphis, all the history. And then I sent him a link to the Muscle Shoals documentary. Blew his mind. When he heard all that history, saw all that, everything that had happened, up until that time, Muscle Shoals was like one line of Leonard Skinner's Sweet Home Alabama song, where they talk about the Swampers and Muscle Shoals, the famous rhythm section in the Swamper studio. So he saw that documentary, and he's like, man, we got to go to Muscle Shoals to record. We got to get down there. So by this time, he's starting to write some different kind of music, some R&B influence kind of stuff, soul influence stuff, mixing it with the music. And he's listening to Marcus King and Freddie King and all kinds of different stuff. So we spend a good chunk of 2021 in Muscle Shoals working on this record. So 20 to Life is the first thing that you hear from that. We've got Muscle Shoals horns on it. We've got Bonnie Raitt's guitar player on a couple of songs. We got Little Richard's guitar player on a couple other songs. I don't know who exactly played on 20 to Life, but we're bringing these heavyweights in from that area along with our band. So, on the one hand, the music's kind of retro sounding, but he's got that rock and roll edge to it. And it's uniquely his voice. The band co-wrote a lot of stuff with him, but it is a band. Now, I am not a young guy, as you can see. I've been doing this a while, and I've never been in an actual band because those are hard to come by. And I can kind of explain more about what goes on behind that, but suffice it to say, this is a unique thing that's happening with this guy. He's the creative force. He's a hard worker. He and I have found the rest of the guys to put together in this band. And what you're hearing, 20 to Life, is the culmination of everything I just told you.
Yeah, he literally called his shot from the jump. Like, this is something he wanted to do. He wanted y'all all in, and he said, "Okay, let's see what you all about first. Let's dive in. Let's see if you really, if you can talk that talk per se." And he delivered. He definitely got your seal of approval, and I think that's a good look. That's encouraging. Just see, okay, if we're gonna make this work, we're gonna go through some things, and then we'll go on from there. And Hippies and Cowboys, the rest is history. And going from covers, and now got original music Journey to Life debut single out on all the platforms. So now that you definitely give us the story of how Hippies and Cowboys came to fruition, um, I've always wanted to ask about the meaning behind, the name Hippies and Cowboys. Where did that exactly came from?
I mean, when you think of both words, hippies and cowboys, both words denote certain things. Like a cowboy is, to me anyway, everybody can have their own kind of opinions on it, but a cowboy to me and to the rest of us here in the band, we've kind of talked about this. There is an independence to a cowboy's lifestyle. There is doing things their own way. Maybe it's a little rebel, maybe it's a little outlaw, but it's just kind of forging your own way, not going with the crowd. You are out there. There was a Bon Jovi song like 20 years ago, Wanted Dead or Alive, where he kind of likened himself to a cowboy riding a steel horse, a tour bus down the road. It is kind of the rogue vagabond lifestyle to a certain degree, whether you're on a horse in the Old West or today, just kind of forging things, doing things the way you want to, when and how you want to do them. And specifically with us, it's the way we record music, the way we write music, the way we perform music. We're not necessarily jumping in, to the TikTok mold and doing things the way everyone else is doing them. We'll do some of that, but it's really got to be on our own terms. So that's the outlaw or the cowboy thing of it. And the hippie thing is just more the chill, relaxed. We want to have a good time. We want folks to have a good time to come to a show. It's not a real uptight thing. It's just, it's laid back in that aspect that we're here for the people. We're not 100% doing this for ourselves. We want to make a difference in people's lives. And that's very important to Aaron. That is one thing that I realized early on. And it's been the case for me. My dad was a professional musician, and it was very important to him. He wasn't doing it for himself. He was out there every Friday and Saturday night in this dance band, doing it for the people, always making sure everybody was happy. He would take the time to talk to them. They'd line up and want to ask him questions because he was the lead singer of this band. And he just always took time. And I guess that kind of imprinted on me. And I saw that commonality in Aaron. It is very important for him. I mean, we get done with the show and he wants to meet everyone in the bar. Doesn't matter if it's 3 a.m. Getting them on his Instagram. He wants to follow them, wants them to follow us. And he's concerned about people's stories. And I'm going to share one thing with you here, because this is kind of a mind-blowing thing that happened. We're playing a little club outside of Nashville. And there wasn't a lot of people in this place, but we noticed a gal sitting around on the corner of the bar. And we took a break. We played 2 sets. And Aaron went over and talked to her, I thought friendly. He was just getting to know people. So we're all done. We're packed up. She's still sitting at the same spot in the bar. He's going over and talking to her. I finally get drums torn down, packed up. I go over and talk to her. I come to find out that she was on her way to take herself out, jump off a bridge into a nearby lake that we're playing close by, Percy Priest Lake, outside of Nashville. And she stopped in this club for whatever reason, maybe to have a final drink or whatever. She sat down at the bar. This is her, how she told the story. She sat down at the bar. She looked across the bar and she said there was something so true about how Aaron was singing and how important he was delivering it, and the feeling, maybe his soul or whatever that was coming out in his music. She sat there and watched him the entire night and decided not to take herself out. I mean, that's one of the heaviest stories that's happened in our 3 years. but there is a quality about Aaron's voice and his performance and the way he means it that is fairly deep. It's not just the business. It's not just partying. It's not just trying to get famous and making money or whatever. There is a realness and a deepness to it. And I don't know if that feeds into the hippie thing, but it's just that there is a deep thing we're trying to do here. We all come to this band for various reasons. And, you hear a lot of people say, how do you make it in the business? And should my son or daughter do this? Or what does it take? And kind of my classic answer has become, it is so tough because so many people want to do this. The only time you should really do this and try to take a shot in the music business is if you have to do it.
Yeah.
If you have to do it, if it's got to come out of you, if you just have no other choice because you're not happy doing anything else. I've tried a whole lot of other things. I saw the professionalism when I was a little kid. My dad was on Decca Records and RCA Victor. So I soaked up that little bit when I was younger and got a chance to play with his band. When I was 17, I was in the McDonald's All-American High School Band. So I got to play this concert in Carnegie Hall when I was 17. And I walked across that stage and looked around that room and I'm like, all right, this is pretty much what I'm doing. That soaked into me at a young age. Maybe for Aaron, it was hanging out with Vern Gosdin or all of those albums or whatever it was. But there's something that he feels down deep where he's got to get on stage and perform. He's got to reach people. He's got to touch people. He touched that gal by that lake, of course. So this is the kind of stuff you probably wouldn't get out of an interview with him. He might tell that story, he might not, but all of that's going into the name. So we're sitting around one time, I guess I like songwriting or something, and the keyboard player, Nolan, it took forever to find a name. We just could not come up with a name. And our keyboard player, Nolan, he says, well, we're just a bunch of hippies and cowboys. So then we kind of dug into it and went, okay, what does that mean? And it really does fit us. So it's not an original phrase. We're not the first people that have put that together, but it does fit us. And I think we're the only band that's using it. So we kind of go by Hippies and Cowboys band, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you sharing that story. I feel like music has a way of impact people's lives, or in this case, saving people's lives, whether it's listening to music at home, or in this case, listening to a live performance. So whatever she was going through at the time, the moment she saw y'all perform that night, definitely changed a lot.
Yeah.
Put things in perspective here. This is bigger, than awards, accolades, stream numbers. You do music to create moments, and or in just impact people's lives, literally.
Right.
And you have to have a lot good going with Hippies and Cowboys. And I definitely am looking forward to hearing more music from you fellas. Aaron, from what you have told me about this young fella, is that sky's the limit for him and for you all. You can check out Hippies and Cowboys on Facebook and Instagram, Hippies and Cowboys. And you can like the Facebook page, follow them on Instagram, Hippies and Cowboys.
TikTok.
And
We got a TikTok going. We got a Twitter going. So we're on all the platforms. The logo on most of the platforms, I believe, or the profile picture is our it's kind of an orangish band logo that was created for us. So I know there is a Hippies and Cowboys beer. There's a Hippies and Cowboys podcast, but especially if you search Hippies and Cowboys band and look for that orangish animated logo, you're gonna find us. So new music for you, Kenny. May 13th, we got a song called Baby Won't You Stop. Got the cover art done last week. That is very soul influenced. That's the soul side. 20 to Life was kind of digging into the Southern rock mixed with the soul. I guess this is similar. I think it would lead with the soul with the little rock behind it. So that's coming at you May 13th. So pre-save it. The link is in the Instagram bio if you want to go pre-save the song, because that helps us make a splash the day it's released if people are pre-saving it.
I will definitely pre-save it. The new single, May 13th. So that's the 28th. That's about 3-4 weeks from tomorrow.
Yeah.
So go hit that pre-save, go to the Instagram, go to all the platforms. And while you wait on the new single, keep the spins going for 20 to Life, and spread the word about that. I'm joined with Scott here, one of the co-founders of Hippies and Cowboys. I appreciate our conversation. You tell the rest of your bandmates I say hello, and you tell one of them I wish him a healthful recovery, health-wise, and thank you for coming in, man. And on behalf of the band, I appreciate you, man.
One other thing, we got a music video we just shot for the song 20 to Life. We went down to Central Tennessee, Cowan, Tennessee, and shot this music video a week ago, Monday, Tuesday. Got some old cars, some 60s vintage cars in it. We found an old gas station from the 1930s. So again, Aaron's creative vision, he sat down with the cinematographer for 6 hours and mapped out every part of this video. So it's going to come together pretty darn cool. So whether that'll be out before May 13th, I hope it will. But just if you're watching our socials, you will see the music video for 20 to Life, which is slick.
Absolutely, man. Great chatting with you, man. Continued success with you and the band, and appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, man. Thanks again for joining.
Kenny, for helping to tell the story. Thank you, my man.
Yeah, absolutely. You have a good night.
All right, bye now.
All right. That was